Yeah, I said I had a few videos to make, and this is reminding me of before. While we were in the middle of WandaVision, we got our second trailer for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, while we are in the middle of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we get our second trailer for Loki. I like that. I like that consistency. And I know this trailer came out 4 days ago, so I'm not sure if you're gonna care about me talking about this trailer now. But you know what? I still want to talk about it, so let's make this fun. So this new trailer for the upcoming Loki show on Disney Plus starts out with Loki being brought to the TVA, the Time Variance Authority. But you hear him say that he knows what this place is. But how? How does Loki know what the Time Variance Authority is? I mean, hell, this is Loki we're talking about here. He's been alive for a long time. Who knows what he's been through over the course of 1,000+ years? Maybe he learned about it from his mother Frigga, who was raised by witches. Or maybe he learned about it from Odin, Allfather. Who knows? Who knows how Loki knows about the TVA? I really like Owen Wilson in this trailer. He seems kind of snarky, sarcastic. Like, yeah, I've dealt with this kind of petty, mischievous criminal before. Why should this Loki variant be any different from anyone I've dealt with in the past? I don't know, he seems like he loves his job. Although, what the hell is with his nose? It looks broken, like it has a dent in it. Is that how Owen Wilson's nose usually looks? I think it might be, because there's a joke about it in How I Met Your Mother, where Barney punches Ted's nose and he breaks it and he's like, oh right, you're gonna look like Owen Wilson. So, I don't know, maybe that's just how Owen Wilson's nose looks. That scene though, where Loki is sent down to that room, first of all, you see that adorable ass cat, and I reacted like Scorpia. I was like, Kitty! But then there's that nerdy looking guy at the desk and he pushes this pile of paperwork towards Loki and he's all like,
please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
Sign this too.
are you kidding me with that shit? If someone sat me down at a desk and told me to sign verifying everything I've ever said in my life, I'd be like, fuck you, I am out of here, or I would find a pen to stab myself with. Cause there is just no way in hell I am doing that. So this trailer actually gives us a clue as to what the premise of the show is going to be, or at least this first season.
You picked up the Tesseract breaking reality. I want you to help us fix it.
So I was right in my video about the first Loki trailer. Loki taking the Tesseract in the Avengers Endgame 2012 timeline is what gets him caught by the TVA, cause that did create a disturbance in the normal flow of time, cause it changed the timeline. Him taking the Tesseract and escaping is not how that timeline was supposed to go. It was supposed to go how we saw it before, you know, Thor taking Loki prisoner back to Asgard and leading to the events of Thor the Dark World. Loki taking the Tesseract and escaping during the time heist in Avengers Endgame, that has created an alternate timeline. So you see these alternate timelines branching out on that monitor. And so the TVA is like, uh-oh, now we need this Loki variant, as they call him, to help us fix the timeline that he fucked up. And that's the premise of the show. Loki's going to help the TVA fix the timeline that he screwed up. Typical Loki, always getting himself into trouble. We once again see Gugu Mbatha-Raw, and her character's name is Ravonna Renslayer, who, yeah, I guess is a character from the comics. I'm not gonna pose and pretend I know anything about that character, although I think she has something to do with Kang the Conqueror, if I remember correctly. And Kang the Conqueror is going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, so there that is. But you see Ravonna here talking to Mobius, Owen Wilson's character, and she asks him, you really believe in this Loki variant? So yeah, the fact that the TVA calls this Loki a variant, like, oh, you're dealing with this Loki variant, that kind of gives me the impression that the TVA deals with time variants like all the time. Like the TVA is constantly dealing with troublemakers who mess with time, which gives me the impression that time is easier to mess with in the MCU than it should be. That's kind of messed up, but I guess that's why the Time Variance Authority exists. They're time cops. I do wonder who that hooded figure is, because we've seen this hooded figure in both trailers for Loki, and I'm wondering if that's like the villain in this show. I mean, Loki is a villain, but I wonder if there's like a bigger threat that's out there now thanks to Loki's meddling with time. Maybe it's Kang. I don't know. But you see this hooded figure dragging Sasha Lane, the actress Sasha Lane we know from the new Hellboy. She's cool, so this should be interesting. One shot in this trailer I really like is seeing Loki on a throne, because I've always loved seeing Loki on a throne, because he's always such a badass when he's sitting on a throne. And this throne looks really cool. It kind of looks like the Asgard throne, but Ragnarok-ized, if I can say it like that. Like it looks like the throne of Asgard, but designed by Taika Waititi. I don't know, it looks cool. In the end, this trailer was pretty neat. I am still curious about the overall effects this show is going to have on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, since this show seems to be taking place outside of the main timeline of the MCU. So I feel like most of the events of this show are not going to affect the main timeline. But then then again, this trailer does make it seem like this show is going to be important to the MCU. You know, it seems like we're gonna want to follow what Loki's doing here. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have made this show in the first place. I feel like the show must be important. They wouldn't have made this show just because fans love Loki. You know, they wouldn't have done it just for the fan service. I mean, making an hour-long loop of Zemo dancing, that's one thing, because it doesn't take that much effort. So to answer that fan outcry, yeah, that makes sense. But to create an entire show with a multi-million-dollar budget, yeah, that's something different. So yeah, there must be a reason they're making this show. It must be important. So I guess we'll see how it ties in with the larger MCU picture. Maybe it will tie in with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I guess only time will tell. So the official trailer for Loki. Have you watched it? What do you think about it? And how do you think this show might tie into the larger events of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.